Storks, let's get this party started. Woot woot. Hi everyone, this is Julie from Patchworks, and I'm so excited that you're joining us for another Must Sew TV here at Patchworks in Elm Grove. Tonight, we are sharing with you some tips and tricks on my favorite color is Moda Block 15. And then we are going to be looking at a trunk show from Schaefer, her fall festive quilts. We'll be looking at your show and tell, and we'll be looking at some of the new arrivals. I have Tammy with me at the computer, and Frank is with me behind the camera. So if you have any questions for me, we are here live today, and I'd be more than happy to answer your questions along the way. Please feel free to like and share so that all of your friends can watch along with us. And I'm just so happy that you're joining us tonight. Tammy's going to show you first our block that we have to share. It is block 15 from the My Favorite Color is Moda. And you can see on this picture, it is a nice big block that you could actually turn into a quilt all by itself. So you'll have to be looking for an upcoming project from us for that. And I love, love, love this block because it's actually a little bit simpler than how it looks, which I know you're super excited about. So we also have a link to the Moda Insider blog that Tammy is sharing with you that she will have for the My Favorite Color is Moda Block 15 to share tips and tricks as well as a Moda giveaway. So you'll want to make sure that you read all of that and that you can participate in the Moda giveaway for that, in addition to all of the fun stuff that we have going on here. Okay, but let's come back, and what we're going to do is that we're going to talk first about this block. So for this block, it is on page, well, it doesn't have a page number, it's just block 15 in your book. And it's very simple. You are going to be using just 6 fabrics with your color key in there. So it's fabrics 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. For the cutting instructions, Frank, I'll have you flip up the first photo here. And what's really, really interesting here is that each of the little blocks that make up the components here, the half square triangle blocks actually are put together with squares and rectangles. So you might have thought that those big half square triangles had a big giant triangle with a bias edge that you'd have to deal with. But no, it has a rectangle, a blank square, some half square triangles in the different shades, and that's how it goes together. There are 2 different units. You have a unit A that you make 8 of and a unit B that you make 4 of that you rotate together. Now the other important thing to remember is that for all of the different components, they're actually put together the same way. So you can see here in the picture that the background is actually in the upper left. Now Frank's going to show you a picture of how not to do it, and that is by spinning your fabrics around where you change the orientation of how your triangles are put together. It's really important to have the windmill spin around and have them all put together in exactly the same way so that when you put together your different units, they all go together and spin the right way. Simple construction, half square triangles, which we've done before, put together with squares and rectangles. And color 15, Frank will show you a picture of how it looks in the quilt. You can see it is part of section 2. If you are working ahead, you might want to check out the blog post that we posted below because there are some corrections that we will be presenting in the next couple months. But for this particular month, it is just how it appears in the book. If you think this looks interesting, we have books available here, and we'd be more than happy to help you put a kit together in any one of the 6 official colorways, or we would be able to help you pick your own fabrics to make your own unique quilt. We have some great show and tell that we're going to be sharing with you from what you have been sharing in the in the Patchworks Party Facebook group, and 3 of you shared some of your show and tell. So Frank is going to share with you. First we have Denise. She's been keeping up on her blocks. Great job, Denise. And then we have Julie. Julie has been keeping up on her blocks as well. And then we have one last show and tell, and that is from Sharon. Great job, Sharon. Oh, and I love here how we have 3 different unique colorways. Denise has been working with her own unique colorway, and Julie is working with Pink Lemonade, and Sharon has been working with the Sugar Cookie. You can see behind me, I'm standing by Frank here, where I'm looking at the show and tell, and what I want you to see behind here is we have reorganized the whole store, and it's so super exciting. I'll be taking you on a little mini tour. I'll be taking you on a little mini tour just to show you, but we have the Christmas fabric all decked out, decking the walls so that you can be working on your holiday projects. Any questions on our blocks so far? So now I'm going to show you a really fun trunk show, and my head's probably cut off here, and that's okay because we're looking at this beautiful quilt. This is Autumn Splendor, found in the book Festive Fall Quilts. And this is a great book by Kim Schaefer. Kim Schaefer is a local designer. She designs fabrics for Andover Fabrics, and she also is a pattern and book designer. She does piecing and applique, and this book here is just chock full. It's 21 fun applique projects for Halloween, Thanksgiving, and more. We are so excited that Kim has shared with us some of these projects, and so what I'm going to do is I am going to take you on a little tour here. We're just going to take it off of the tripod here so that we can see. Whoops. Da-da-da. All right, so we have, don't want to make you dizzy here, but we got to spin around so that you can see what else we have. So this is a really fun wall hanging here. It is large scale. It is the sunflower that's found there. You can see here we have our great Aurifil animals. And then, oh, you know I love Halloween. And this Spooky Spiders also is in the book. I have one more that I'm going to show you, but as I spin back, I do want to look a little bit closer at this quilt that we have on the wall. And I love, love, love how Kim just uses like 8 million fabrics. We've had people come in who have said, oh, do you have a kit for this? And I'll be showing you a fat stack that's a starter that we have for this project. But what makes it really, really interesting is the, and I don't want to say 8 billion, but it really is so many fabrics. So what I encourage you to do is, play with it being scrappy, play with adding more colors. And what you find is the more colors that you add to a project, the more that they all go together, okay? So you can see here, you know, how many different unique fabrics do we have? Oh my, I mean, so many. So really beautiful. And she finished it with just a little satin stitch. And as you can see, for her quilting, she did all over quilting. And she used a monofilament or had a monofilament thread used on the top so that you could just see texture. So it's okay for these applique quilts with borders to do all over quilting if you send it out for quilting, because you want to make sure that your piecing in your applique is what stands out. So it's okay to do edge to edge. We're just going to go around the corner here and we have Fallen Leaves, which is a modern quilt. I'm going to back up a little bit so that we can see it. And these leaves here, you have our appliqued small parts on top of the bigger leaves on top of a pieced base. So a very nice quilt with different focus colors, same background in the square, so a square and a square that are set offset, and then you have the artistically placed leaves. So that full-size quilt is 50 by 70. You could go ahead and use the leaf for a different project. You could make some small mug mats or table runners. And that's the great thing about Kim's books, is that you can use the different elements for other projects. Once again, you can see that all over quilting was used on this. And this was not monofilament. We're going to go up close. And this was a tan, a light tan. So we're going to go back a second again. And you can see how that thread melts into the background so that you can see those dark leaves, and it does not detract from the applique. I think so often we think that we need to do custom quilting on these projects, and custom quilting's great, but edge to edge can really do a nice job when you're working on a project. Before we head back, I do want to show you, since we switched things up in the front, I do have this really fun rake and bake blocks panel up here that we just hung up. That's very autumnal. That's my fun word of the day, autumnal. And we can take a walk back. So while I'm walking back here, if you have any questions, just let us know. Dun, dun, dun. Pay no attention to the cords on the ground. So we redid this corner in the beautiful winter flannels that include the Yuletide Gathering and other winter flannels. Just isn't that awesome? Great, great, great for that holiday sewing that we've been starting. So I just had to share with you how we redid it. Don't worry, we have lots of batiks, and we actually have been getting more batiks, so that's super fun. All right, don't want to make you dizzy here. So now I can share with you some of the fun fabrics that have been coming in. Well, I told you that we were going to be doing a fat stack of the beautiful autumnal colors. So I had posted to our Instagram and Facebook over the weekend. We had a customer come in who was looking for a fabric pull. And so we put together this really great 12-pack here, since there was a lot of positive feedback that you wanted a starter kit. And so we based this on the palette that we just saw from the Fall Festive Quilts book by Kim Schaefer. So let me just lay this out here so that you can see them. And I'll show you. I don't have an overhead here, but we can use the camera that I was using. So Frank, can you flip back to this one here? Oh, look at this. Rusts into orange. We used a variety of different manufacturers and textures. This particular fat stack is on our website, and Tammy's going to share a link with you in case if you're interested. If you had needed a larger pack, let us know. 12 fat quarters is 3 yards of fabric and is a great starter pack for that kit. We also, I told you we got in a bunch of new batiks, so we haven't put them out on display yet. We're staging them so we can put them out, but we put together a new fat stack that matches our beautiful 12 carats quilt that we keep kitting and rekitting and rekitting. So I'm going to show you that fat stack, and then I'm also going to share with you the quilt in case if you don't remember or have never seen it before. So that quilt, or this fat stack here, so we have the dark blues into the purples and light blue. We just keep putting these combinations together over and over and over because you just love them over and over and over and over. I swear this is Wisconsin's most favorite color combination. The blue into purple, and then maybe adding in a zing of green. It's kind of like violets, our state flower. Okay, so let's take another peek at this. Ooh. So you can see here these nice batiks. We've gotten in some Island batiks and Hoffmans and some Kaufmans. I believe this is a combination of Island batik and Hoffman in this grouping. So this is available on our website as well. Pretty. And then the inspiration behind this, I'm going to pick up to share with you. I didn't have it set, but I'm going to, from our display here, we might spill one or two things off screen. Oops, you might hear that. So, but how many of you remember this quilt? I have it pinned together so I can't open it completely for you. But how many of you remember this one? This is from our 12-pack quilts book. That is one of our favorite books. And I think Frank might be helping me. Is Frank going to help me? Let me just take the pin off here so that we can open it up for you to see. There we go. Huh. All right. So while these fabrics are not the exact same, you can see here that the range works really, really well. So for this particular quilt, you need the 12-pack, you need a little bit of background, and then you need a border. For this one, we used all of our leftover scraps for our binding, so you don't even need an extra binding fabric. Thank you so much, Frank, for sharing that with us. Did we catch him? Did he have an on-screen appearance this week? It's the trick. It's an evil trick. So I have been talking a lot, and I haven't asked you any fun questions yet. So I always like to hear your input and what is your favorite color combination that you would like to see a tonal fat stack combination. So would you like to see a Christmas theme? Would you like to see all purples in tonals? Would you like to see rainbow? Do you love the autumnal? See how I use that word there again? So let us know. What we'll be doing is that one random entry will be chosen on Saturday to win an amazing prize from our prize bucket. You never know what's in the prize bucket. We keep on getting really awesome things from our different vendors to be able to share with you. So I know last week, 2 of our winners got books, so that was really exciting. Sometimes we even have little stacks of fabric. So it's not always super crazy things. You just never know what's going to come out of the prize pack. All right, now I'm going to show you something. I was going to save it for our Moda University that's going to be coming up, but it's super exciting that I have to share it with you now. And that is the latest collection by Stacy Eastchew, Jungle Paradise, has arrived. And this one is just so spectacular. We have, of course, all the pre-cuts. And I didn't bring out all of the fabrics to show you. I have to save something for Moda Club. But we have the jelly rolls and the charm packs and the layer cakes here. We have a few of her patterns. So we have block print, funny monkey, stomping ground, and pineapple pop. And I'm going to set these down and then I can show you I can show you with my other camera here. Oops, upside down. Da-da-da. Here we go. I can share this with you. So we have the funny monkey, stomping ground, pineapple pop, block print, and the different pre-cuts. We do have fat 1/4 and 1/2 yard towers of this whole collection, and we'd be more than happy to cut any kit for you. These are all yardage quilts. And this one you can do in other fabrics as well. And isn't this little monkey cute? So super cute. And then I have the panels that I'm going to share with you, as well as the box kit. So the panels, we have 2 of them. So the first panel here are these cute little animals here. Oh, these little stuffed animals, so cute. So you can see here that we have the tiger, or the jaguar, and the tiger, and the monkey, and the parrot. Super cute. And they're a little bit larger so that you would be able to have some assistance from a young one that wanted to help you sew or help you stuff. We do carry the fiber fill here in store as well. And the fiber fill is $5.99 a bag for our poly down filling, which is 12 ounces. I just was looking up here. That's the great thing about being able to hop around the store, is that you never know where you might be able to check out some fun things. So the Jungle Paradise panel there, that's panel number 1, and panel number 2 is a book panel. So we haven't had book panels for a while, and this is an activity book. So you have the fun little story, and then you also have the little parts that can pop out of the book. So that's really exciting. This book panel would be a little bit more difficult to put together than the stuffed toys. However, both of them would be on the easier range of panel projects. So I believe both panels are $12.99 each and are available for purchase in store now. Then we have our Jungle Paradise kit. So this is 48 by 60. It's only $95.99, and this is a Jungle Paradise version of our stomping ground pattern. So we have all of the fabrics beautifully cut, nicely packaged. There also is the picture inside, which has everything laid out. you'd be able to expand this quilt very easily to make it a little bit bigger by just putting a border on the outside. And oh my goodness, with one of those great tiger prints, or if you had a different print that you'd prefer to use, that would be really fun to be able to expand that from a small or a large lap to a more ample twin for the project. Any questions for me today? The book panel is $12.99. And I did forget to tell you that if there's anything that you would like that you've seen during this, please feel free to let us know along the way. And we'd be more than happy to send it out to you, invoice, hold it for you, whatever you'd like. I know sometimes it's much easier to just add things in the comments versus give us a call or send us a message a different way. So we had a lot of success last week with that, and I failed to mention that earlier in the group that we would love to be able to help you in however you would like. Two more questions. The elephants, so the question is, how is Stomping Ground assembled? And the elephants are pieced, not appliqued. So I have not assembled it, but they look to be a little bit larger pieces. So it's, if you have ever made a Elizabeth Hartman pattern, I think these are larger pieces and more squares and rectangles. And we do have the standalone pattern available for $10 if you are interested in the pattern alone. Otherwise, the Jungle Paradise Stomping Ground kit, which includes everything that you need for the top, as well as the pattern, which finishes 48 by 60 without an extra border, and that is $95.99. And we do have several in stock there, and we'd also be able to help you make it larger with a border. The other question is, what else is needed for the book panel? And that is a very good question. So let's take a peek here. So for the book panel, and we're just reading along here together, you are going to need, your supply list is a book panel, of course, 1 yard of fusible fleece, a half yard of single-sided fusible interfacing. It does not specify, so you could use your favorite one. I do really like that t-shirt project interfacing for all of my projects. Optional is a walking foot, which would be incredibly helpful. And you may also want to have an assortment of different threads at your disposal. Of course, if you only had green or white, that would be completely fine. But that's it. So you don't need extra fabric. You just are going to be putting the fusible fleece behind it and the interfacing. So I'm guessing that the interfacing is without reading the whole directions. My guess is that the interfacing is for your little add-ons to the book. And I know I've seen some of you make some books and you even stuff them a little or do something really elaborate or add buttons or beads if it's age appropriate. Okay, I don't want you to add buttons or beads or any embellishment if it's not age appropriate. The other thing that you can do would be to add some embroidery along the way. But very, very simply, if you didn't want to add any inserts, fusible fleece behind these, and then it just tells you how to sew it together. Does that answer your question? I think so. Okay, any other questions on what I've shown you? No other questions right now. Okay. So we have been busy moving lots and lots of fabric around. We started up on some really great samples for you so that we're going to have some other fun stuff to talk to you about. I also have been working to get a few other quilts in store, which is super exciting. I'm going to grab, or actually we'll take a walk and we're going to look at a quilt that we'll be getting if we have any kits left, you know, of course, because you never know as we get ready for all of these different holiday times. So let's take a peek. We're going to take a walk. Does that sound good? All right, let's take a walk. All right, so I told you we rearranged everything, and so we have our Halloween fabric and our autumnal fabric right here, and this kitty corn quilt. We saw this box kit a little bit earlier, okay? This is that Urban Chicks, and it has the giant panel inside of it, as well as everything that you need to make this scrappy 9-patch in here. Super cool. We're just going to look at it again. We have a couple of these kits in store, and we're set up to get the kit. So the $129.99, and I know I'm not focused here. It didn't quite come in. So we're set to have that quilt in at the end of September. Our fabric supply is dwindling down. We do have a little bit of yardage left. We have the fat quarter tower. We have the big panel. We have the little panel. And then we have some pre-cuts remaining. Pre-cuts. And speaking of pre-cuts, just wanted to remind all of you, or tell you for the first time, that Saturday, September 18th is National Jelly Roll Day. So we are going to have a few patterns available here for you on that day, and maybe a little special or two for jelly rolls, which is super exciting. You can see all of our great Halloween fabric. Someone came in today, actually not just one person, but everyone is just amazed at the selection of holiday fabric that we have here. And I always say that you are quilting for babies, for weddings, for holidays, and then for yourself. So we want to make sure that year-round we have a lot of seasonal fabric for you, and we decided to bring them out and share them with you in a little bit different way. Oftentimes I arrange everything just by collection, but this year we thought that we'd mix things up a little bit so that we had them to share with you in more of a color order. We're just mixing everything up. Oh, and look at these great pumpkins. It makes me hungry for a pumpkin spice latte. All right. Let's see. So I'll come back here. Look at all the pretty stuff. Does anybody have any other questions for me today? Okay, so before I let you go, I am going to give you one more question, and that is, what do we have going on September 18th? That's super exciting. It has something to do with this. Okay, so what we do, if this is the first time that you're watching, is that we randomly select people from answering questions and award fun little door prizes on Saturday morning after our Thursday show. And we do our best to come on at as close to 9 a.m. as possible. Sometimes we are at the end of the day, and I think once or twice we've missed it and come in on Tuesday. But we definitely do our drawings, and there's no purchase required to enter into our drawings. We just choose from whoever answers our questions. Thank you, Tammy. So the magic hand behind the screen gave me the names of the show and tell sharers today. So if you are not already a member, I highly recommend that you join our Patchworks Party Facebook group, where we share show and tell with each other and ask questions about the clubs that we have going on. We have 3 entries today. Ooh, ah. And gotta pick something exciting. The other thing that I do want to mention before we go, and I will share a separate post for this as well. I don't want it to get hidden in our comments, is that we have Carol Butsky, who's a certified quilt appraiser. She is going to be available to do on-site quilt appraisals on Friday, September 17th. For a small fee, you are able to get a documented record of your quilt, and she always is so amazing, and it's insightful seeing the different information about that. So if you are interested, please let us know, and I will be putting down a separate post as well as a sign-up sheet for that so that you can secure your spot. If you're not able to come on a Friday, because I know it is a Friday and I know many of you work, so we do have drop-off available for you to drop off and leave the quilt for Carol for her to do her magic, and then you to pick up afterwards. Okay. If you have any additional comments, make sure to leave them in the section below, and then we will respond to you after. So, which of the 3 lucky show and tell sharers are going to win today? All right, think lucky, think lucky, think lucky. And Julie, congratulations. You are winning something amazing from our prize bucket. So thank you for sharing your work. I am so thankful that you are tuning in to watch with us. Make sure to watch us every Thursday at 7 p.m. for Must Sew TV. There are 5 Thursdays in September. We are anxiously awaiting some amazing fabric from Moda Fabrics, so stay tuned as to the theme of next week's show. And I have one more question before I let you go.
So Sandy would like to see the pineapple pattern and the last pattern again. I'm not sure.
Okay, so I have another question about the patterns that I showed you. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to lay them out and then we can look at them up close. So Sandy would like to see, let's make sure you can see it here. So this pineapple quilt here, it's pineapple pop. And what I think is very interesting is that if you watch a lot of our stuff and you follow a lot of designers, you may notice a theme here. And I think it's very interesting how tropical this particular line is. So this is a 62 by 84 inch quilt, and it is put together, I think we're not focused here. So let me see if I can focus this in. Nope. There is, you can see here that different yardage is required. We'd be more than happy to cut for you. So that is this one, pineapple pop. Then we had block print, which is a 60 by 64. This is a yardage quilt as well. I am not certain that you'd be able to use a pre-cut on this, but that is a nice, they're squares with connector corners, and I just love that layout. That is really, really beautiful. And then the funny monkey. This is super cute. I love the monkey hanging, and here in this picture, all of the monkeys are the same color, but you absolutely could have the monkeys be different colors. You could also use a single monkey on like a pillow. And then Stomping Ground, which is available as a separate pattern or in the box quilt, box kit. so much inspiration here. And so we're going to whip up one of those elephants to be able to share with you how fun and simple it is to make. I hope you are working on lots of amazing things this week and that you are enjoying the beginning of quilting season, which is just coming up upon us. We are set with all sorts of great holiday fabrics. So if you wanted to get started on those wonderful projects, I know that the fabric came in a little bit later this year, but we have all sorts of great holiday seasonal fabrics as well as some yummy flannels to get started on that holiday sewing. Thanks again for tuning in. Happy quilting, and we'll see you soon.